What's going down, my YTG? It's your boy Hendrix. What's good, D? Welcome back to the channel. If you knew, what's goody? We're gonna get into this video. I pulled up this video on YouTube. I found this video on YouTube. I started watching I watched a couple minutes of it, not gonna lie. And then I put it in my watch later because I was thinking of doing a video originally on trying to debunk this misconception that Angel Reese pulls down. The rebounds that Angel Reese be pulling down, majority of them are her own misses. So I was going to do a video on that, right? But then I saw this video and I realized that Kita Love Sports, if you don't know her, check out her channel, QUITA, Kita Love Sports. She did a breakdown on this as well. And I think ESPN had a segment on that topic as well. So I figured I'm not going to cover that. But I saw this video floating around on YouTube. I started watching it, put it in my watch later. And I figured since I've been doing some film breakdowns for the Liberty, for Zia Cook, I'm just going to use this video as my film breakdown because during this video, it kind of reinforced what I've been saying about women's basketball and the things that bother me when it comes to not just the WNBA, but women's basketball development and how we develop our players. And this is something, it's not specifically a women's basketball thing because this happens in the NBA too, but it's the fact that women's basketball development, it shouldn't be the way it is. There's such an acceptance of the status quo, and that's what I feel like, if anything, that's what I feel like Angel Reese represents. So when I look at Angel Reese and I see these parts of her game that I'm just like what is this? All it does is reinforce everything I've been saying about women's basketball development and the resources that are missing from the WNBA. So when we talk about things like higher salaries and the NBA needs to step up, and I've said all these things on the channel, to me, Angel Reese sums all that up. You know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and get into this video. It's been a while since I had to use these headphones. It's been a really long time since I've used these headphones. I damn near plugged them into my mic. But without further ado, let's get into the video. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Angel Reese has had a fairly impressive rookie season, but there's still a lot of room for improvement in her game, especially in her ability to finish around the basket. Fans are seriously questioning her basketball fundamentals as she has an atrocious ability to finish around the basket with efficiency. She is shooting a horrific 40.2% from the field.
Yeah, that's not good.
And is even shooting below 50% on shots less than 5 feet from the basket.
For a big, those are like really bad percentages.
On shots 5 to 9 feet from the basket.
Yeah, that's really bad percentage.
Some of these layup attempts are really bad. And a lot of these layup attempts aren't even hitting the rim, and she's within 3 feet of the basket. And it's not something that has happened once. It has happened multiple times. 13 instances to be exact in this video alone.
Damn.
So let's get into it. In the first game of her career, Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky took on the Dallas Wings, and everyone was anxious to see what Reese was capable of. But it didn't take long for Reese to show her lack of finishing ability.
DallasWings.com to learn more.
Oh no, not the open layup. Oh, Jesus.
Beautiful dish inside. No, Suarez can't come up with it.
Look at this. A wide open look, and the shot didn't even touch the rim. Maybe the nerves were kicking in such an important game of her young career, but I don't think there are many professional basketball players capable of shooting so poorly in such a situation. But unfortunately, it was not the only lowlight in that game. In the fourth quarter, Angel catches the ball at the top of the key and attacks the rim, but it looks like she forgot to jump at the end.
Okay.
Good to eat.
Yeah.
Good to eat by JC.
A little head fake. Reese flicking the
First of
wrist.
all, is that not a travel?
Air ball again. No. McCowan takes it away.
Oh my
Still
Lord,
loose.
Look at how she decides to finish the play.
All right, hold on.
Layup.
Okay, so I have to pause it right there. So this is what I mean when I was talking about Angel Reese's like finishing ability, and when I talk about player development as well. Now, if you're an Angel Reese fan, I wouldn't say I'm an Angel Reese fan. I just end up watching her most of the time. I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I'd buy her type jersey, but I've been seeing this since college. So a lot of these players, again, when I started watching WNBA religiously a couple of years ago, it was just 2 years ago where I started, not 2 years ago, but 3 years ago where I started keeping up with college basketball because I wanted to see the talent that would come into the WNBA. So I've been watching Angel Reese for a couple of years now. Even when she was at Maryland, I caught one of her seasons there. And what I've seen this type of habit, I don't know if you call it habit, but this part of her gameplay where she doesn't know how to take a simple layup, like a fundamental layup. She doesn't know how to do that. So when she goes up for her layups, she does this thing where she like frog hop jumps forward and doesn't really push, like doesn't even when she frog hops, she doesn't push to explode off the ground. She pushes forward. It's like a frog hop forward and then she throws the ball up. She's been doing this for time. Okay? So my gripe, again, it's not even with Angel Reese and it's not even with players, because if you're new to women's basketball, if you watch women's basketball some of the time, if you're a casual fan, you have to understand a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but actually I would say a lot. A lot of the players don't have the finesse trait. Like a lot of these players don't know how to finish like with finesse. Like finesse when I mean like a simple finger roll layup. A lot of layup attempts you might see, like a lot of players tend to like shoot it off their palm instead of like using their fingers, right? So if I ask the player to go just finger roll layup or like spin it off the backboard this way, use your other hand, spin it off the backboard that way, they don't really have that finesse trait of finger roll type ability. Right. So Angel Reese is the same thing. So this is why my gripe isn't with Angel Reese. It's kind of with the coaches, the trainers that watch her do something like that and don't say anything about it. Because there's no way I'm watching this player's, what is she, 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 6'4", 6'5", watching this player do this weak ass layup, basically, this horrible attempt at a layup where she's bunny hopping forward and throwing the ball up. She's not even helping herself, and I say nothing. That's my problem with this entire thing. And because she's been doing this for years. So you've had multiple coaches at this point. You've had multiple player development coaches. You've had multiple scouts. And this is what she's done all the way to the pros. And I've talked about this before. I even talked about this in my South Carolina versus LSU video from earlier this year. But this basically sums it all up right here. Sorry, I know that's a lengthy pause, but...
And then catches her own rebound and hits the bottom of the rim.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. She's had that habit for years,
and it's the main reason why your
no one
field
has
goal
corrected
percentage
it.
is as low as it is, despite playing close to the rim. Another example, this time against the Las Vegas Aces. The Sky do a good job on defense and get out in transition. Kennedy Carter does a good job also finding Reese, but she misses a wide open layup again.
See what I'm saying? It's like, it's the same thing. Watch how she jumps forward
Kennedy
here.
Carter feeds
She like
Angel
jumps
Reese.
forward and then throws the ball
Can't
up.
finish.
Usually that's a regular
I know there
1,
are
2,
tens of
boom,
thousands
go
of
up,
women
go
who
up to the
don't
hoop.
play pro basketball who would have made that layup. Or this play also from the game against the Wings, where Reese does something completely
And notice how she's
inexplicable.
holding the ball too.
Give me the rock, because this is my time.
Enrique's got 18. Off the glass, no. Reese the rebound. Maddie Seagrass got a piece of it.
She grabs the offensive rebound like the great
And she,
rebounder she is, but then tries to do a reverse layup like Kyrie.
See what I'm saying? Like
And after
she
catching
just
the ball
lacks that
again,
ability
she's rejected in one of the worst ways possible.
And plus she'd be
Her
taking
problem with
layup
finishing
attempts
in
and
the
she'd be
paint has
throwing it
gotten
from her
so
hip
bad
too.
that fans are accusing her of missing on purpose. No, I'm not exaggerating. Angel Reese broke the record for the most consecutive double-doubles in WNBA history, but fans believe she's grabbing her own rebounds on purpose to stat pad. And I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I mean, some of these layup attempts are just horrible. Take this example, which is even more ridiculous, where Angel misses up to 3 shots in a matter of seconds against the Washington Mystics.
She's definitely not grabbing her own rebound or like missing on purpose. It's just that she doesn't have that finesse to finish. But she is a lot more athletic and strong than her opponents. So
I don't think anyone doubts her ability to rebound, but those rebounds have to be useful in some way,
she just doesn't
right?
have the ability to finish. She can rebound her ass off.
That's her problem.
Just can't finish.
In a game against the stacked New York Liberty, Reese was being defended by none other than the 2023 MVP Breanna Stewart. And well, she decided that the best option was to attack her off the dribble. Stewart plays good defense, but Angel throws up a horrific layup attempt. It's just happening way too often.
Sabali comes in. Here's Reese at the elbow.
I don't know why you're picking up the ball there anyway.
Sabali hauls it down.
And she really loves to try that kind of layup from the right, trying to get the ball out from underneath. But she just doesn't have that kind of move in her bag. And this poor shot selection is easy to see time and time again. In the game against the Mystics, Angel gets in good position, makes it hard for herself, then misses the shot, grabs the rebound, and goes back to trying a desperation shot instead of passing the ball.
That's a foul. But again, watch how she's jumping forward. Watch. Bunny hop forward. Like frog hop forward.
Does not go. Fighting for the rebounds.
Her 4 teammates have their arms up in the air at the same time because they don't understand how she can have such tunnel vision. Notice literally all of her team is calling for the ball at once. Now
they're calling for the
just
foul.
Look at this.
If we're being fair, they're calling
has to
for
be
the
worst
foul.
one
Not
yet.
calling.
Angel grabs the offensive
the
rebound. It is wide open under the rim. She decides to try and finish in the air rather than taking her time to fall to the floor and finish the layup with ease. I mean, the defenders are watching instead of trying to do something because they think the basket is inevitable.
10 turnovers for the Sky here tonight. Elizabeth Williams, Angel Reese. First opportunity not there.
But Reese misses and catches her offensive rebound. Maybe that double-double theory isn't so far off the mark. Because if it's not, what do you make of this? In the biggest game of the year against Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever, Angel received a spectacular entry pass that left her alone again. And she doesn't only miss the wide-open layup, but bricks it. Then she managed to catch her own rebound, pivot multiple times, and then throw up a prayer that will never go in.
But again, watch her finishing. Like, watch where she's releasing this ball. One from her hip where she's just hooking it.
But it doesn't end there. The compilation of missed layups by Angel can last for hours. Again, in that game against the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark, Reese had another catastrophic miss. And this one might be the worst in the video. She does the right thing by running right to the opposing block and receives a pass where she receives the most wide-open layup opportunity I've maybe ever seen, and then completely whiffed it.
Look at that. Look at how she's jumping. Watch her footwork. She's just basically launching herself forward and throwing up the ball.
The two most concerning parts about Angel is that she's showing an inability that even middle school basketball
that shit should have been solved in middle school.
She cannot finish with both hands.
What you mean?
She simply has zero touch around the basket. Finally, in this game against
that
the
habit
Sparks,
should have been kicked out in middle school. She probably wouldn't have been doing it now.
Layup I have ever seen. After a spectacular off-ball screen, the defenders don't switch and Angel gets a completely wide-open layup attempt underneath the basket, only to miss the easiest shot of the whole season.
Notice how she's shooting it off her palm and not just shooting it like with some finesse. Watch. Right off her palm. Not even in her hand.
Let me repeat.
Not even in her hand.
Angel's contribution to the Chicago Sky is important.
Watch that layup.
In fact, she's above average in almost every advanced stat line. Her net rating is plus 7 points per 100 possessions. Her PER is 19.3.
Oh yeah, this is crazy.
Her win shares on both offense and defense look good, but for some reason, she is not nearly as efficient as she could be. Now, Reese is a rookie, and she has her whole career ahead of her to improve her touch under the rim, but these missed layup attempts are areas of her game she needs to work on. But what are your thoughts? Are we being a little too harsh on Angel Reese and her missed layups?
Absolutely not.
Or is it completely valid to criticize her finishing ability around the rim? Let us know in the comments below.
Nope. That is not harsh criticism at all. That is not harsh criticism at all. And this is what I'd be talking about again with the WNBA. And before everyone clicks off the video, just hear me out on this point. When I make videos saying the WNBA needs more resources, yes, the biggest resource we all know is money, but we have to understand why people like myself advocate for more money and advocate for more resources to go into the WNBA. Partly it's because of shit like this. Okay? Let me give you a small example. Remember how Lonzo Ball shot was like, you know what I'm saying, like elbow out right here, right? And then he came back one season and we saw the elbow was tucked and he was just knocking shit down, right? That shit takes resources. That's not just a simple Lonzo get in the gym, start shooting like this. That shit takes trainers. It might take a couple of sports scientists just to see if he's comfortable. And again, he's changing his whole body dynamic. So it might take a couple of sports scientists. It's going to take a little practice facility where you could come in and put designated hours and just have unlimited free time, unlimited access to a gym, right? So that takes a practice facility that's open all the time. You got trainers on call 24/7 for you to come in, work on your jump shot. You got repetitions, whatever. You got maybe the rebounding, hoop shit, whatever. That takes resources. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to the WNBA now, and we watch the NBA lowball the WNBA, right? And everyone's talking about the new deal and 2.2 billion. Understand that that's still a low ball. I did a video on that as well. That's a low ball, right? So now when you're not giving these players the resources and the salary, this is what you get. And I've talked about this before, how a lot of women's college basketball players actually come into the pros and their game doesn't develop. I believe that game should be developed in college. Like, this type of shit should be eliminated at least in college. So when they get to the pros, they're good. But when you don't develop the players, you get to the pros and you do stuff like this. Now, this can be corrected in the pros too. But if you don't have the resources, yeah, the criticism on Angel's finishing ability is valid. And that's something she needs to work on. But understand that we're going to ask her to work on this without having the necessary resources to change it. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not as simple as telling a WNBA player, oh, you got to come back this offseason and you should be better at this. They're playing basketball year round. So how can I ask them to own this skill, work on this particular part of their skill set when they don't have the time, they don't have the resources to do it, they don't have the attention they need to do it, as in like staff to help them out, on call 24/7 staff. A lot of these teams don't even have their own practice facilities where they can just come in 24/7, get shots up and work on some shit with a trainer. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, everyone, when we call for more money, when we call for more resources into the W, these are the problems that this shit can fix. Because what I need Angel to do, what the Chicago Sky needs Angel to do, and I'm not even going to get on, like, I already talked about the coaching staff and stuff like that who just allow this shit to happen. But again, there has to be a period that Angel Reese can go through where she can correct this. And that takes resources. She's been doing this for years. These are basically lifelong habits, right? Because she's been doing shit like this for years. She's been going up with layups and shit like this for years. I call the same shit out in college. You're just like, oh yeah, she's a great player, but look at what, like, she could be even greater. That's my entire point of this channel is watching WNBA players, watching WNBA teams and being like, yo, yeah, you're good, but understand you could be here. Like, you could be here with it. You're averaging 19 points. You could be averaging 27 plus. Like, I'm not someone that comes in and watches this game and I'm like, oh yeah, you're good, and not say anything. No, you suck at finishing. Angel sucks at finishing. But how hard can I get on her and how much can I press her and be like, oh, you need to change this shit when it's like she's only one part of the equation. You get what I'm saying? So for everyone that's always, kind of riding the WNBA players and riding these players to get better, and we're criticizing Angel Reese, as valid as it is, you have to understand a lot of the time she doesn't have like the other hand to go with her. A lot of these players don't have the other hand to go with them. But regardless, that's just my take on the situation, which is why I continuously will press the NBA and press the WNBA and try to explain to the culture and, sports culture, basketball culture as well, that like these are the reasons why the WNBA needs more resources. You get what I'm saying? Because fixing stuff like this, it isn't easy, but it can be done. And I hope Angel does whatever trainer's working with her, I don't know if she has a trainer or not, but to the teams and stuff like that that just allow this shit to happen and just don't correct the shit, that's my problem. Again, that's where I will get on the WNBA, because it's like, you watch your player do this. Stop accepting the status quo. Oh, she's a double-double machine. She might be able to get a triple-double. She might average a 20-20. She might have a season where she averages 20-20 because you fixed her layups. You added her finesse trait, put her finesse trait on Hall of Fame, damn. and then you also worked on her footwork. She could look at the player she is now and understand that that is her baseline. When you add the corrections, when you give her a jump shot, when you give her finishing ability, you work on her finishing ability, when you work on her footwork so that she's able to just go up with a simple layup and not smoke the shit, what type of player are you going to have then? You're going to have a 2015 player. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's all I have. That's all I have to say about this. To me, again, Angel Reese is she's just a small example of a bigger issue. You know what I mean? But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you all think about it in the comment section. Until next time, I'm out of here. See you guys. Take care. Be safe. Be easy. Peace.